I'm just back after a little bit of a long break to get through some things, dealing with health issues and otherwise, just general life stuff. But I am back here, and I'm going to check out a blaster that, while kind of stuck in the house here and there, I have been having a lot of fun with. Now, this was sent to me for review by BU Blasters, and they sell this thing as the Quick Disassembly Blaster. And no, I am not going to keep calling that. When you open up your package and you look in and got a little card, it's not really a manual, it's just a little instruction card. It has model number T21. So I'm going to call this thing the T21 because that's a whole lot easier. Now, the whole shtick with this is that quick disassembly, and it genuinely lives up to the name. When you grab your blaster, and we will get to the blaster itself here in a second, but when you get the blaster, it is literally a toolless, easy as can be disassembly process. You pull off your Picatinny. There is a little lever on the right hand side of the shell that you push up, and then actually use the little corner of the Picatinny rail. You could probably get a little tiny flathead underneath there, but I use it to pry up this pin because it has a little plate hooked to it, but then pull the pin out because you do a little rotate and then pry up kind of method, and then pull the whole upper off. That's it. As you can see, the mag's there. Trigger assembly stays in the lower, and the upper contains everything else. You've got an anodized aluminum plunger tube and barrel. You can see just a little bit exposed there. You got your mainspring here with the plunger rod. All your working components are right here. And it also does have, you can kind of see it through that opening, it does have a return spring for the slide. Now, this could be very useful for a number of things. You want to swap springs, you need to change an O-ring, you need to relubricate. I haven't messed with anything because I test my blasters in unmodified, unaltered form. But I did take it apart a bunch of times because it's kind of neat. I mean, very quick. Now, when you're done doing whatever you took it apart to do, just simply take the upper, slide it straight down over the lower, and then I was always putting the pin back in first. Put the pin in, and then get it to go flush, and then you rotate down. It's a small rotation, a couple millimeters. Then take your Picatinny assembly, slide on the front. You're ready to go. Now, after that, it is your kind of standard magging grip, spring-powered, top prime pistol. Now, the mag, as it states, holds 8 shots. Now, I was able to load 10 with no issues, but it says 8 on it. So when you run to the last one, it does have the hold open feature, which then, of course, you can gravity drop the mag, and I'm going to load one more shot so that I can now not dry fire it. With the hold open, you do have a little release lever. Release it, and fire. Now, they only claim 65 feet per second. And I did most of my testing with Adventure Force Pro darts. And over the chronograph, I was actually averaging 82.4. So kudos to them for under-promising and over-delivering, instead of the other way around most of the time. So, nice little kind of ballpark of performance, where it's, it's decent enough that it'll compete with anything like major brand-wise out of the big four, Nerf, Dart Zone, X-Shot, Buzzbee, of the standard off-the-shelf variety. Now, it's not going to compete with the upper-end blasters, and I don't think it's trying to. I think it's trying to be this kind of neat, little bit higher grade, but not, ultra-high performance. But 82.4 is the baseline, and I think there's room for improvement on that. But this does come in at only $39.99. And that's kind of why, when they offered me to pick a couple of blasters, this is the one I picked. I did pick another one, but it has never arrived. And I've had this one for almost a month now. So, we'll see about that one. I did request to get their whole, it's called a bread machine, which I think looks silly, and I want it. And so that was the other one I requested. But this one caught my attention because, nice price point. Now, the magazine, again, like I said, it says 8. It holds 10. Never had any issues with any jams or anything by overloading it. And they do sell these separately. That's key, because I don't have anything that matches up to this. So as far as I know, it's probably proprietary. But they do sell them for $6.99. And the blaster's only $39.99. So, good price point. Now, the blaster also comes with, as I reach over to grab it, neat little darts. Now, they, at first glance, look like just your standard copy of a Worker Gen 3 until you look at the tip. Now, the tip there has little, almost like they were trying to do rifling grooves. And here in the shop, they blink just fine. Haven't had a chance to take it outside in good weather and see some longer range shots under higher power. Maybe like run them through my skewer or something. Get it up there more like 250 feet per second and see how they perform. That'll be an interesting test later. Maybe a separate video for that. But this thing has impressed me. It has. The performance, again, 82.4 feet per second. That's not going to shock anybody. But for a $40 blaster, it also came with a nice little holster. This has impressed me, and it also came with a holster. Now, the holster itself, this is actually kind of surprisingly impressive itself. It interlocks with the trigger guard. That's why it has that kind of weird, profile to it. And you place it in, and it has a mechanical lock. There's a button on the holster that your trigger finger can hit and draw. Now, that lock will not let go. And it's easy to release with the button, but you have to actually press the button. Just doing some jumping jacks here in the shop, I had no issues with this, which it has both a belt hook, and I was actually able just to slide this down in my side pocket, and it was retaining the blaster quite well. Now, it also has an angle adjustment on it. Keep in mind, it's just thrown in. Whether you use it or not, it's a solid little holster for both mounting on a belt or just slipping in your pocket. Nice addition. Actually useful. But the quality and ergonomics of this are very, very good for what you are paying. Now, mag and grip blasters, there's no getting around. It's a chunky grip. This is no exception to that rule, but the chunkiness of it is not in a bad way. The grip, it has nice, smooth, rounded edges on the back, a little bit of nice texture, and as you can see there, right there as the light shines on it, each of those little patches are just lightly textured, enough to give you a nice, confident grip. It's not slippery, but it's also not anything that's going to dig into your hand. So, for me, ergonomics are spot on. And aside from the fact that a couple of the internal parts are anodized aluminum, the rest of the plastic shell is solid. This feels like a good quality blaster. And that's a nice thing, especially considering the price point. So, all around, ergonomics, the quality, the functionality of its unique feature of the quick takedown, it works just fine. It doesn't cause any structural issues in the blaster, and it also is easy to do. And that's kind of key. It's not a gimmick that it's hard to use or causes an issue. And the performance is not bad. 82 is not bad. Now, a lot of people are going to want more out of it, and I think with how easy it is to take down, you're going to be able to swap in springs and try out a whole bunch and find what works. I haven't done that yet, and I will do that in the future. But I'm liking this thing. I'm going to call it the T21. This T21 quick disassembly blaster is a pretty solid choice. And I'm glad BU Blasters gave me the chance to try it out, because I like it. I like it a lot. It might just be my favorite blaster that I've ever tried from them, because it comes in at a good price point, not too heavy on the wallet, and it does everything that it says it'll do, and then some. Because remember, on their listing, at the time of this recording, they only claim 65 feet per second. And I knew that going into it. So I was pleasantly surprised to see the, hitting above 80. But that's a nice nice choice. So I highly recommend check it out. I will put a link in the description. And if you like the video, please say so in the comments below. Let me know what you think. And if you did like it, thumbs up would be nice. Helps me out. Just me personally. But if you liked it, I appreciate you staying to the end. Until next time, it's Mongoose Jake saying thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it.